I'm making this video to raise awareness for a better school lunch. In 2010, the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act ensured children have access to nutritious meals when they are away from home, as well as aiming to improve school lunch and address childhood obesity. For really the past couple of years that I've lived here in Yakima, I've experienced school lunch from elementary all the way to high school now. And I've seen that the lunch isn't really healthy and isn't really food that should be served to kids, especially kids that are in the development phase, right? When it's so critical for us to have the right supplements, the supplements that would help us, develop our brains, that help us with our immune systems, and help us with our critical help us just in general. But I've seen that the food that's served here isn't really doing that. And of course, that this bill was originally signed, its main purpose was to give kids food, healthy, and really avoid the obesity rate that it was once rising. But I see now and realize that the bill is no longer really living to what it was originally about. And it's really sad to see, because sometimes the kids aren't financially well, and so they don't have really the money to go out to the grocery store and buy the necessary, food that would help them or fill their hunger up. And so they turn their heads to school, and for them to serve them the food that they need, right? The food that would fill their hunger. But that food that is being served isn't really healthy. And really, it does the quite opposite. Kids would often come or be diagnosed with, obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and other chronic illnesses. I mean, sure, some of that has to do with the food that is being served at their homes, but the majority of the time, the kids consume the food, especially the ones that really don't have the money to buy their own food. They eat food in the morning, and they eat food in lunch in the afternoon, right? And really, those two foods are kind of the same thing, with too much sugar, too much carbs, excess oil, really bad meats, and meat that has either gone bad or that has been kept in the refrigerator for who knows how long. I mean, in my experience, I've had one hamburger just because I really felt hungry and didn't eat food in the morning because I didn't have to. I was actually running a little late. So just like, you know what, I'm going to eat lunch here. Just hopefully I'll feel, decently. So I went to grab a hamburger, and really, it wasn't the best. It looked gray. And for some reason, it had a lot of water. It had me thinking, they probably had this patty for a long time in the refrigerator, in the cooler. Well, I had no other choice but to eat it. And really, for kids to be eating that all the time, to be going through that, it's just really bad. It's really bad, and it's really sad to see that for what the bill was originally signed to be was to help kids, to give kids nutritious foods. But no, I feel like we've just kind of reverted back, and really the bill is just there to say, oh, well, it's here, it's here, we've done it. Well, yeah, it's there, but have you really eaten the food that's been given to the kids here? Have you seen what these foods contain, the nutritious facts? And well, you really can't really be saying anything if you haven't really experienced it. And at the same time, it's just kind of frustrating when on the other side can argue, oh well, the act is there, the food is being given, yeah, yeah, the food might be given, but it's just not there. It's not there, man. It's really not there. The food has gone bad, unhealthy, makes you feel worse. Actually, makes you feel even hungrier sometimes, and even at times, and possibly bloated. And that shouldn't be really the case. It should be food that should fill you up for the X amount of hours you're gonna be at school, for the time you're gonna be at school and do your presentation, do your tests, do assignments, really focus on your work. But if you're being served food that really isn't filling you up, that doesn't have the necessary vitamins one needs, right? Then what's the point of having school lunch if it's gonna do the total opposite? If it's gonna ruin your health, right? What's the point of even having lunch at school, right? I mean, some of it doesn't even look that good and taste good at all too. But knowing of some more of our needs and our situations, we have to eat it, right? We have to. I think that a way we could solve this is by cutting on other areas, right? Cutting on other funding and just put a little bit more on the funding on school lunch. Because of the kids that are here now, the kids that are going to school every day, eating those meals in the morning, eating lunch, those kids one day might be either the next Albert Einstein, might be either the next president, might be the next doctor. But what's the point of serving them food if later on in life they'll have chronic diseases, right? High blood pressure, high blood sugar. It's just not really worth it. We should take care of the kids now to have a stronger future, to have a stronger country, stronger, right? You don't want people to be dying of obesity. You don't want people to be dying of blood sugar. You don't want people to be dying of blood or high blood pressure. You don't want to have a country full of people that are sick and that are suffering from chronic, whatever it is they're suffering, obesity and whatnot. School food should really be food that will fill you up and help you along the day, continue your day. I'm not asking to have food, roti food, steak, or really other superfood. I mean, yeah, well, superfood and like fruits and whatnot. But yeah, um, we should have food that really would fill us up, have the necessary, vitamins and immunes and whatnot. Um, One way to really solve this would be just cutting back on some other, projects or other things, and put some money into it, like I said before. And again, it's just sad to see that I'll probably just be another voice that will probably be never heard and really not really taken into account of. But something should really be done about it. I've conducted my own survey. Um, and it says, I wrote, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate the school lunch? Explain your reasoning. I'll read three of many few that have been here. Let's see. This one here. 4.5 out of 10. There are a few rare occasions where lunches provided at the school are not too bad, but on most days, for the more common options such as hamburgers, chicken, and sandwiches, the meat, the so-called meat, that is in the chicken or beef is gray or distasteful. And if you eat the school food, it is obvious that the so-called meat that is served in any lunch is not real meat. Excuse me. So there's another problem too, that the meat that is being served there, right, has gone gray, and might be because it's been there for the refrigerator, might be because it's been in the storage for too long. That's at that point it shouldn't be served, right? Here I've got another one. Probably a 4. Occasionally, some special items are unique and taste okay. Otherwise, the selection is worn out and the food quality could be better. And here you got another one. I rated a 3 because sometimes the food looks very unappealing and even the milk has gone bad. Some of the food has a weird taste and texture is sometimes off. So, as I just read to you, and as I've just conducted this survey, I'm really not alone on this on the matter. School lunch should be better, and like I said before, I'm not asking for royalty meals. I'm asking for food that will fill us up, will help us. It shouldn't be prison food, right? It's just really sad to see that there's almost nothing being done about it. But I think I've said enough for the most part, and yeah, we should do something about it. There should be something. There should be something done about it. So yeah.